Clubs need to have a 10K minimum for a section. Everybody done put 2 weeks worth of paychecks together. Penny pension
costs too much. Parking costs too much.
Same clubs will have you waiting online for it to look like that.
I was swimming naked in the LeBron swimming pool in the middle of a Birchland party.
I am very concerned about the future of my culture. This is a dying art.
Clubbing and partying is a waste of time and money.
Going from this
Welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get all my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get into this.
Why men don't go to the club anymore.
It costs too much. Parking costs too much. To drink costs too much. I don't really go to the club, so that's not my thing anymore. You basically going there as a dude to try to impress somebody and get the attention. Not all, but y'all already know what I mean. If you're a single dude and you see a pretty girl, you going to try to talk to her. She may not be interested unless you're trying to buy her a drink. And this is the number one thing that's actually new. You go to the club, let's say you want to dance with somebody. 95% of the time, women are only dancing on women, whether that be their friends or women they don't know. Now, I don't know why they do that the whole night at the club. That's something you got to ask them, but these are all telltale signs for you as a dude to just stop going to the club. Build a skill, learn something. Just stay out of that environment. You don't got to waste your time there chasing something that you're not even going to get.
And I like what the man said. He said, why waste your time, your effort, and your money? You're better off building a skill. And it's true, especially if you're young. Now, I was a knucklehead. I didn't know. I still worked on certain things, but if I would have spent all that time in my craft, who knows where I'd be by now. But still, no time like the present. So young men are figuring it out. They're saying, it doesn't make sense. And that was been a thing for the longest time. I don't know if he knows. Well, of course he doesn't know. But when I was in a club, back when I first hit 20, I'm talking back 20, 30 years ago. Same thing. Woman dancing on woman. It never changes.
You want to know the craziest part about all of this is that those same clubs will have you waiting online for an hour, 2, sometimes even 3 hours to get into the club for it to look like that. Not only are you waiting online, you also have to pay to get in. And then on top of that, all the clubs are so section heavy that for you to actually have a good time, you have to buy a bottle. This is exactly why a lot of people are saying clubbing is dying, because first of all, inflation is hitting our bank accounts like crazy. No one has time or money to go out to the club and buy bottles just to have a good time anymore. And secondly, the vibes when it comes to going out is just not the same no more. Everybody just stands around, looks at each other, doesn't know how to talk to other people, doesn't know how to have a good time, how to vibe, how to dance, nothing, bro. From someone who is from New York, the biggest trend that I've saw this whole summer is day parties. Day parties are becoming such a big trend now that everybody rather have day parties than be in a club at night, because this is what the club has come down to: sections and people standing around. No one likes that.
Yeah, I bet. I remember when I went to the club, and now it's became section heavy. I haven't been to the club in a long time, but I know right now, the whole thing is having a section. And the sections, they made them cheaper, actually. It's funny because I got this girl here. She's beefing about why they need to make the sections more expensive. Yes, more expensive. People already complaining about the price. She wants to make them more expensive. Why? For her own selfish reasons. Hear her out.
TikTok posting like their controversial opinions, and I'm ready to talk about mine. Clubs need to have a 10K minimum for a section. And before y'all come and say, that's insane, why would you say that? I'm about to explain why. Every time I get on this app, y'all are always saying that, oh, you go to the club now and like nobody's dancing, there's no dance floor, there's just nothing but sections, which I wholeheartedly agree. That is definitely clubbing culture in modern day. But here's the thing. Take away half of those sections, have only a handful of sections, and have them lined up against the wall. The dance floor should be directly slap in the middle of the club. The DJ should be towards the front of the club. Have the sections line the walls. 15, 20 sections max, depending on how big your club is. And make them 10K minimum. Like, that way, the only people that are getting sections are people that actually need them. Yes, I said it. Y'all be getting sections and y'all don't need them. Y'all are nobody to be having a section. Like, I'm sorry. It just don't make no sense. You need to be on the dance floor having a good time. Y'all are in sections and y'all are all scraping together to pay $2,000 for a section. That's ridiculous and a waste of money. People that need sections are professional athletes, celebrities, high dollar ass businessmen that are going to be spending a lot of money in that club.
All right, so this is what she said. So I looked in her comments. Now, this is what happened in the comments. This is what this guy said. Yes, sections used to mean something, like you had money. I agree, but 10K minimum is insane. Put myself over there. Gotta separate the real ballers from the duds. And so you can see, she said, gotta separate the real ballers from the duds. And that's her, the creator, right? Check this next one out. That's the case. Only certified 10s need to be trying to get in a section. Not just decent looking woman, but the baddest. Here's what she said. This is why I came to that conclusion. She had a nerve to say, look at it. Well, I've never tried to get in them. I get invited.
Stop the cap.
She thinks because she's getting invited into the sections now, she wants the big ballers in those sections. As she said, the guys that are football players, the guys that are basketball players, because she got invited before with the fake up. This is why the club is not good, right? You're talking to a bomb the whole night. Say if you get someone, right? It's already hard to get someone, but then you're talking her up. You're talking to her the whole night. She's interested. You get her home. Next day, that makeup comes off, and you're like, I just smashed the bomb. This is why clubs are dead.
If we're in a strip club. And y'all could shoot the messenger and y'all could be like, bitch, you're raggedy as hell. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. And that's fine. This is my opinion. I'm going to still say it. Regular people don't need sections. It's annoying and it's destroyed club culture, going out culture, because all people want to do is be seen and huddle up in a corner because they literally put together 2 paychecks to pay for that section. So they gonna make use of that little section with their little 1 bottle of reposado and 1 thing of mixers, and they're gonna stay in that section all night long, not get out, not socialize. Like, it's ridiculous. And I'm not in the club bar industry, obviously, so maybe someone who owns a club or a bar could tell me otherwise, but I think it's time to bring back exclusivity. It's time to bring it back. There's no reason everyone should have access to everything. It's time to bring it back, rope that off, make 10K a table, and keep it pushing. Simple. And let that be for the athletes and the people that actually need that. And the people who I really feel sorry for is the bottle girls, because they're going like and running around the club all night long, servicing people who are actually spending a lot of money in the club, and then having to run over to people who probably put together 5-6 people put in on one table, $1,000 table. Everybody done put 2 weeks worth of paychecks together, and they're harassing this poor girl, running her up and down, penny pinching. Like, let the real ballers, like the real ballers need to be in the sections. You're not a real baller, you do not need a section. And as someone who's gone out and like partied with professional athletes, like, this stands true. Like, leave those poor bottle girls alone. Let them go make their money with the actual real folks that got some money in the club, because you don't.
What she doesn't realize, and I'm not saying club culture is good, but by the small people buying bottles, that means more money for the club. I guess you're not in business. You don't see how it generates money. And those bar, I'm sure some of those bar girls are fine, because you know what those people are doing? They're buying more bottles and they're tipping. Finances. Use your common sense.
Okay, so I saw this video on TikTok where there was a girl who's really funny, but she was saying that she can never forgive her generation, as in Gen Z, for ruining club culture. And I just have to say, as someone who used to be in the club all the time, I don't think that Gen Z ruined club culture. I just think that we have a lot of self-awareness as a generation, and we see that club culture has ruined so many millennials' lives. A part of the reason why someone like a Drake has been made into a national mockery is because he has spent his entire adult life trying to be cool and trying to just be up in the club. He's always in the strip club. He's always in a nightclub. He has turned his house basically into a nightclub, always having people over, always having parties, never alone. That's really sad and really lame. When I was in college in New York City and I was going out, yeah, it was fun because I was young and I was with my friends. And, you know, when you're in New York City and you're young, you can't go to a dorm party. We don't really do frats and sororities. They exist, but that's not where the cool people were hanging out. We had fake IDs and we were going to Le Bon. We were going to Barchland nights, okay? I was swimming naked in the Le Bon swimming pool in the middle of a Barchland party on a Tuesday after class. That was my week before COVID hit. I was in Paris doing things I can't speak about on this app on my spring break trip during college. I was at China Chalet with the girls. I was at Bossa. I was at Mood Ring. I was at $3 Bill. I was lit. Especially summer 2019. If you were there, hey girl. If you weren't there, you just had to be there. But then COVID hit and things got way too real too quickly. I was literally on my spring break trip with the girls and the gays at my aunt's house in Scottsdale, sitting by the pool, looking at my phone, realizing that the world around us was shutting down and that people were dying. Yeah, I would say that kills the vibe. That really kills the vibe. Then I flew back to my apartment in New York City and I had COVID. Couldn't move my body for 7 days straight. Took me a long time to recover, not just physically, but psychologically. It was incredibly traumatic. For months, I was alone in my apartment, listening to the sound of helicopters flying over me carrying dead bodies. Once we were allowed to go outside, the NYPD was beating my friends with batons for sport because of the protests and the civil unrest. So the cute A24 produced film we were living in before COVID quickly turned into District 9. It was the Hunger Games up in there. It was not cute anymore. And when you're in a situation when you're contemplating your own mortality, you're contemplating what your purpose is because everything in the world is so obviously a mess. Yes, the world has been a mess always. You know, my parents are boomers, so they went through a lot of the same things we're going through historically when they were my age. But it's a different thing when everyone on earth is forced to stay indoors, forced to reflect, forced to really sit with themselves. And I think for a lot of us, we took quarantine as an opportunity to sit with ourselves and reflect. There are millions of people dying all over the world. George Floyd has just been murdered. There's civil unrest in the streets. Everything that I thought I understood about myself and about life is changing rapidly. At least it was for me. But I'm alive and I have breath, right? Thinking about George Floyd.
David, it was a hard time for everyone. And yes, that's part of the reason why the culture died. When it came back, it just wasn't the same. Like I saw things like this happen. I saw this big nightclub get shut down where in UK. Let me show that video.
Why are clubs all over the UK going from this to this?
Where are all the people?
Venue curfews, pricey pints, and the cost of living crisis. Young people are choosing to go out less and less. Earlier this year, Recon, the biggest nightclub operator in the UK, announced the closure of 17 venues across the country. This includes the popular clubs Prism and Attic. But what does this mean for Britain's nightlife?
And it's part of growing up, is going to clubs. And if a generation didn't do that, it might just die out, because obviously young people are the lifeblood of clubs. The pandemic didn't kill off clubbing, but it's definitely damaged it. Yeah. And it'll take a while to recover. And in the meantime, like most things, while times are tight, people have to put the prices up.
Yeah, it was damaged. It was. He said it didn't damage it, but it did. Because after that, that's when it died. And rightfully so, right? Why is it okay for people to be out wasting money, especially for a man? Because, man, as the guy explained, I'm sitting there watching woman dance on woman, and it's came back, and that's what's happening. That came back. So does it make sense for a man to say, you know what? Even when you think about how the lady was saying, I want only ballers. She said, the one lady said, only ballers should have a club section. But even the poor people, right? Say if 4 people scrape together $2,000, that's $500 a pop just to sit in a section and try to look like something. $2,000 is still a lot of money. But why should you be wasting that in a club? It doesn't make sense.
We agree. Go to the club when I was younger, like excited to get to that age, because the club seemed fun. According to our parents, it was fun. Now you go to the club, it's no longer fun. Everybody's too cool. And I feel like there were also people that were too cool back then, but their too cool wasn't too cool to have fun, if that makes sense. Like, they're too cool, they still ended up enjoying themselves. Now, not only are clubs boring compared to back in the day, they cost way more. So you're paying all that money to do less now. And the whole point in sections was an exclusivity thing, but now sections are like mandatory in a lot of places. So it's backwards, because now the exclusivity is going, what are people paying all this money for? To do the same thing that like everybody else is doing. Not that you should even want to be exclusive in the club anyway, because everybody there to have a good time. But I guess I don't care to go out anyway. Like I've never been a party scene person. I had a phase in college, and it wasn't until like the second half of college, but I was not a party person. Like I haven't been to like a legit party or been out to the club in over 2 years now. Like probably just a little bit over 2 years. I don't care. So maybe that's why I think that what's going on now with the clubs and the prices and all of that is stupid. Maybe it's just not my scene.
I am very concerned about the future of my culture, which is clubbing. I'm going to write some letters to authorities like soon. This is a dying art. They're forgetting this craft and how to do it. The young girls, they don't even know how to dance on a table in a heel.
Hot girls stopped dancing on tables in heels, and club culture is dying because there's nothing to dance to. Look at the top 40 right now. Is this what y'all want? We haven't had fun club music or dance music in what feels like 700 years. Thank God for Afro pop fusion artists, as they're the only people giving us songs with a BPM above 10. The state of fun pop and fun club music is in such dire condition. Christina came back. Katie's coming back. Gaga is coming back. Do you know how bad things have to be for the legacy artists to say, we'll do it ourselves? I want to dance on tables this summer. I want to go to Europe and Vegas and dance on tables with my friends. But I'm not going to be able to do that if someone doesn't get in the studio in a good mood for once. Everybody wants to drone and whine and make sad girl music and make slow bedroom pop. At this rate, the summer of 2024's soundtrack is going to be funeral music if it gets any slower. I don't want to hear another sad or slow song until October. Unless you're Billie Eilish or Lana Del Rey, because when the best of the best are cooking, you eat whatever they make. Besides them, I need everybody else to pick up the tempo. And watch, if this video does numbers, we're gonna get artists stitching it saying, well, you can listen to my music, and it's gonna be the slowest you've ever heard in your life. Don't piss me off today.
I absolutely hate the club. The environment is energy draining. Everyone acts like they're somebody. No one has manners. Lots of lustful spirits. Yeah, that's true. You can barely talk to anyone. And 85% of people are just running away from their problems. That's what they're going for, to get away from the problems of the week. That's why they made the clubs popular on Friday, Saturday. Go make the money and then give it all to me. That's what the club's really about. Go make all that money and then come here and give it all to me. Doesn't make any sense.
Yo, I don't think club culture the way that it is sustainable, like at all. There's no way that paying $500 or $300, $400 for a bottle of tequila that is $40 in the store every weekend is sustainable. Like the business model isn't sustainable. I don't even know how it has lasted as long as it has lasted. And I may sound like a hypocrite because I love outside just like the next person. I love to have fun. But it's not sustainable, right? You would think if the bottle's $30, maybe sell it in the club for 80, 100, right? You know, I just don't think the business model is sustainable. I'm really liking a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing now, like the curated events, the R&B nights, the I guess groups that are like curating actual events that are like no sections, DJs playing sets, some good drinks, and it's just vibes. I'm really liking that. I'm going towards that now because I just can't keep getting hit over the head and finessed to buy bottles. Like at this point, I'm getting robbed without a gun, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
Nobody does, and that's what most men have ran to. Things like that. If you like some music, they go there, get twisted, listen to the music. But guys, there is something at the end of the video. If they added this in clubs, everybody would go. Actually, I'm going to show it right now. Man, y'all seen that? A slide inside the club. Look.
Please listen to me. Do not go partying or clubbing anymore, fam. Stop. If you've never been clubbing or partying, I honestly hope you don't even get tempted to get into it, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? It's one of the things that I regret ever getting into. Do you know what I mean? Guys, clubbing and partying, for the most part, is a waste of time and money, especially if you're a guy. Let me say that again. Clubbing and partying is a waste of time and money, bro. You're going there to impress people who do not like you. You're going there to impress people who are drunk and under the influence, fam. Do you know what I'm saying? In the morning, they only remember you, right? Let's say you get lucky and you get over girl. Guess what? It's not even like a genuine thing. You're not gonna meet your wife in the club. It's not gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I've had some fun nights in the club sometimes, right? If it's once in a while or something, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? If it's not a regular occurrence. But when it becomes a regular occurrence, like, oh, it's an every week thing. Yo, man, let's step. Think about the money you're spending on clothes, on new shoes, right? Because if you're going to the same place, you know you can't wear the same outfit fucking all the time, right? You know that, right? So you're getting new clothes. If you've got a whip, you know you're gonna be driving there because you're gonna be like, oh, if I get a thing, then I'll drive away from. You know what I mean? Think about all the peas that you're wasting that you could be investing back into yourself, right? That you could be spending on things that are actually gonna benefit you instead of going there splurging on money that you haven't got, trying to prove you're rich when you're broke, right? That's all it is. It's man them there trying to prove they're rich when they're broke. Facts. You feel me? So man them, please limit the clubbing, right? Limit it. I've stopped, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless it's like a friend's birthday where it's like they forced my hand, maybe. But other than that,
don't go. The men have spoken, and I second that motion. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Peace out. See you next video.
I am leaving, and I am never coming back.